I think from my point of view, it's also something, and Philip and I being where we are in terms of our careers would remember this, that there was a much greater face-to-face community spirit around the credit world. It's been dominated, particularly within construction, by the Competition Act and what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say, and so on. So finding the right method, finding the right forum where you can actually have that community is incredibly valuable. And I think, reflecting back on the 6 years since the whole world changed for everybody in terms of using this sort of technology and so on, people are much more comfortable with it. And I'd also agree totally with what's been said in terms of the timeliness of this. If I think back to the world as it used to exist, where, in one particular business, when I worked for Hanson, there were 8 credit managers for that business. There's now 1. And going back to the loneliness of it, you are by yourself, and there's one person and trying to do the job that was previously done by 8, supported by technology. And we must never forget the human element of it, the mentoring, and I certainly, from my point of view, it's not a very specific technical thing, but it's just having people that that you can communicate with, as Philip talked about on LinkedIn and other ways, to be able to ask what may appear to be a stupid question. And in fact, it isn't. It's all part of learning, as part of our profession.